Alright, so yesterday I got the chance to check out Godzilla Kong: The New Empire. I was really looking forward to this film because I am a massive fan of Godzilla and King Kong. I'm pretty sure I said that a million times on this Instagram account, but for newcomers who are just finding me, well, there you go. I was really going into this just, expecting a big, goofy, fun, campy thrill ride. I know many people were complaining, saying, hey, we need more films like Minus One. Yeah, Minus One is a fantastic film, don't get me wrong. It's my favorite Godzilla film of all time, but at the same time, we need some fun, campy Godzilla. And we need fun, campy Kong. We gotta remember this is a Kong film, too. Just because a film is dark and serious doesn't mean it's a good movie. Minus One was great because it had a great story. It wasn't just a good movie just because it was dark. Anyways, we're not here to talk about Minus One. If you want to see my review for that film, I have it somewhere on my Instagram. Maybe I'll put like a link to it in the comment section. Does Instagram even allow that? I don't know. I'm just here to talk about this film. And so I saw it yesterday, and I have to say, this film was amazing. It was just such a big, fun, campy thrill ride, and I loved it. So, for my positives, this film knows exactly what it's trying to be. It is by no means trying to, get you into, a very dark and deep human storyline. It knows you are here for the big monstrous fighting, and as soon as the movie opens, you are immediately gifted that. Even when the humans, when they get their chance to shine, they literally just give, what they need to say, their exposition dump, get off screen, so we can just get right back to these guys. The monsters were just fantastic. I loved the personalities they included with Kong. Loved Godzilla, Scar King, Shimo, and Suko. They all stole the show. I think every single monster brought their own personality to the film that really made them stand out, and it's probably what everyone's going to remember these films for. Because, again, we go for the monsters, not the humans. And I loved this. I'm not going to get into details or anything, but a certain monster makes a surprise cameo in this film. I'll let you see the film. I'm not going to say who it is because it's just more fun that way. Some of you probably know who it is, and if you know, don't put it in the comment section, okay? This is a spoiler-free review. The action was incredible. Seriously, it was just non-stop, and I loved it. I loved how every single monster was, doing WWE moves on each other. It just had a big smile on my face. I'm like, this is just so much fun. However, that kind of leans into one of my complaints, and it's not a big one. One of my complaints is that I think there was a couple scenes, some scenes, not all of them, where, the fights were a little too fast. Sometimes I was like, you're going a little too fast. But that's kind of the whole point of the film. It's meant to be a roller coaster film where everything is just, incredibly fast, and it's just right at your face. But real quick, can we just talk about the fact all Godzilla wanted to do in this film was just take a nap in the Roman Colosseum? Anyways, back on track. The human characters in this film, were they any good? I actually really enjoyed them. Especially Trapper. He's the new guy in the film. He steals the show when it comes to the humans. And especially the way they introduce him, it's hilarious, it's funny, and immediately gets you hooked. Also, I love the 80s aesthetic with this film. They play 80s songs, and it's all bright, colorful, just like the poster is. So it's a very, unique and colorful film. So yeah, the humans are not that bad, especially Bernie, and I loved the connection they had with Gia and Ellen Andrews. That was definitely, one of the heart and soul of the film, besides Kong and Suko. But also, that kind of leads into another one of my problems with this film. This is not a spoiler because it's in the trailers, but they find this Iwi tribe in the middle of the Hollow Earth. And I'm just I kind of wanted them to explain that. I'm like, how the hell did they get down there? How are they here? And again, I know this film is not about the story. It's just meant for you to turn your brain off and just, enjoy the campiness. And while I absolutely did that, there were moments where I wanted things explained. But again, the movie really goes fast. And I was just slow your roll. There's a scene where they're trying to sum up, this whole thing between Godzilla and the Kongs. And I was just stop. Just stop. Take a break. Take a breather. Explain this to us, because we need to know this. But again, the movie is all about just getting right to the monster fights, which I really enjoyed. But also, here's another problem I have with the film. This one villain has this thing. It's this weapon. They don't explain it either, because he just kind of uses it throughout the film. And we were just so how does this work? But overall, all these complaints don't take away my enjoyment of the film. This is, again, a movie that you have to know what it is. You have to just embrace that campiness, but if you just can't do that, you're not going to like this film. You absolutely won't. Even if you watch the trailers and you're like, oh, this is just too dumb, this is just too goofy for me, well, you got your answer there. You won't like this movie. However, if you watched the trailers for this film and you're like, oh, this looks like a lot of fun. 1, it is. 2, then give it a watch. I think you'll enjoy it. So there's a lot of things I could talk about with this film, but it would just make this video like over 10 minutes. So I'm just going to conclude everything here. I loved this film. It was so much fun. This is definitely probably my favorite in the MonsterVerse. Like, out of all the films, this is probably the one I'm going to rewatch the most. So anyways, if you're curious about this film and you think it'll be fun, I think you'll enjoy it. However, if you prefer a more dark and serious tone, this is not for you. And, you know, if you just don't like these movies, like you tried getting into them and you just don't like them, then don't watch this. But overall, it's a fun movie, and so far, this is probably my favorite film of 2024. It'll probably change, but for now, this is my favorite.